A little bit about what the district attorney does.
Sure. Well, under the state of Alabama, the district attorney is the chief law enforcement officer of a judicial circuit. In this case, Mobile County makes up the 13th judicial circuit. The whole county encompasses one circuit. The DA's primary responsibility is to prosecute all felony cases in the county and all misdemeanor cases that are brought in the county's court system. Now, there are misdemeanor cases that are brought in municipal court systems throughout the county, but the DA brings those misdemeanor cases in the county system. So basically prosecuting all felony and misdemeanor cases in the county and ensuring that those cases are completed.
Okay, and how did you first get into politics?
First got into politics. When I returned from law school to Mobile County, I took a seat on the Mobile County Republican Executive Committee, kind of at the grassroots level, and began to work with various campaigns and on various issues here in the county, and kind of grew in that role until 2005 when I took over as chairman of the County Republican Party. Kind of got more involved, obviously, as the leader of the local Republican Executive Committee, and sort of did that for 2 terms, got reelected to do it a second term, and gave that up about 2 years ago.
Why did you decide to run for district attorney?
Well, it's an office that I've had a lot of interest in, even as a law student. As I interned there while I was in school at the University of Alabama, I was an intern in the DA's office. So it's been an office that I've had an interest in for a long time. But what really drove me primarily to get involved in this race at this time was the overwhelming sense that I think the county has that the DA's office administration is letting down the people of Mobile County in the way it's handling its business. And that includes not just the high-profile cases that everyone are familiar with, but also just the day-to-day administration of the types of crimes that go unreported but are committed over and over and over again. So to the point where the criminal mindset in Mobile County is impacted, and they are more bold, and they feel less fear about being arrested. They feel less fear about being prosecuted. They feel less fear about being sent to prison. And ultimately what happens is these criminals who have this mindset, this bold idea of how they're going to get treated in the system, eventually will do something that's going to hurt somebody. And I think we see that on a regular basis here in Mobile County, and I think it can end with the right philosophical agenda in that office.
What would your philosophical agenda be?
First and foremost, we have got to rebuild the relationship that the DA's office has with law enforcement. You go out and interview any number of law enforcement officers from the district, from the deputy sheriffs in the county, from the city of Mobile police officers, from the small municipalities in the county. When they take felony cases to the DA's office, just ask them what is the general feeling they have about taking their cases to our current DA's office. And I can tell you, I've talked to enough of them to know that it's a frustrating situation. And right now, instead of having a sense of everyone working together to prosecute cases and impact crime in Mobile County, the law enforcement officers on the street feel an antagonism with the DA's office that is not productive to what they're trying to do. It lowers their morale to go out and do their job because they know if they make a good arrest, the case they believe in, they're going to get stonewalled and get roadblocks put in their way at the DA's office. It makes them more frustrated, and the next time they have opportunity to make that arrest, why put themselves through the bother? And I think we can rebuild that relationship, make it better. We need to work on the fiscal issues with the county DA's office. Just this last year, the current administration cut 25% of the staff and then told everybody in Mobile County that he could cut 25% of his staff and it not impact efficiency. Now, we all know that you can't do that. If you cut 25% of your staff, you are going to impact efficiency, or you didn't need that 25% of employees to start with. So one of those two things was true, but yet we were told it wouldn't impact efficiency, and it was they weren't necessary to continue the job of the DA's office. There are several things in place right now that initiatives I'd like to start about the budget, and those are from state law that's about to be signed by the governor that's going to help a dedicated revenue stream come to the DA's office that I've been advocating for and fighting for, the only candidate in this race who has advocated for that solicitor fee bill tacked to court costs charged in misdemeanor cases and felony cases in our county to be peeled off and put in the DA's office to supplement the budget. I also want to put together a foundation like Sheriff Cochran has done with the Sheriff's Department that could raise private outside money for the sake of supplementing the DA's budget for training and equipment and things that we can't use state money to buy. And then I also would like to look at us going out, as we've done in years past before there was a full staff of DAs, to go out and to ask lawyers who have reached a certain level in their career to consider volunteering time to the DA's office if we need it. If we're having to cut staff, why not go ask lawyers who volunteer their time in civil cases, they volunteer their time to do criminal defense work, why not ask seasoned lawyers to volunteer some of their time each year to try criminal cases on behalf of Mobile County? No one's ever thought to do it, but they may not do it, but I'd like to give them that opportunity if they'd like to spend their time in service to the community. So those are things that I would like to do with regard to the budget. So you got law enforcement issues, we've got budget issues, and we've got leadership issues with that office. We cannot have a DA who is so antagonistic to the Attorney General of Alabama that he will not prosecute cases, and we have the AG to have to come in and spend state funds to come in and take over cases that our local DA's office won't take. Right now, our local DA's office will not assist the Attorney General's office in prosecuting welfare fraud. So we have to have resources from Montgomery, from the AG's office, sent down here, in a satellite way, and set up office in order to prosecute the types of welfare cheats that go out here and misuse state funds, and we don't have a relationship with the AG's office that will even cooperate on those matters.
What motivates you?
What motivates me is the fear I see and hear in the people of Mobile County about the crime situation. I showed up at Murphy High School about 2 weeks ago for a meeting that normally has about 20-25 people. There were 250 residents of the Midtown area there that night, and we had to move it. They had to move their meeting to a bigger venue, and it was standing room only then. And the one common denominator in all of that was fear. Fear for their families, fear for their children in the neighborhood, fear for their property, and we've got to change that, and it starts at the top.
As the district attorney, who do you consider your boss?
The people of Mobile County. The DA of Mobile County, as an elected official, is really the managing partner of one of the biggest law firms in Mobile. He's got a staff of about 75 to 100 people, and he's managing a budget of multi-million dollars of taxpayer money, and he is the managing partner of a team of about 25 lawyers. And the people of Mobile County are the client.